Live from News 9 WAOW, this is News 9 at 9. We've got you covered.
Tonight, Afghan refugees at Fort McCoy facing federal charges. Details on the investigation. News 9 at 9 starts right now.
Live from News 9 WAOW, this is News 9 at 9. We've got you covered.
Tonight, the FDA is signing off on booster doses of the Pfizer vaccine for targeted use. Thanks for joining us. I'm Catherine Helverson. The FDA amending its emergency use authorization, allowing boosters for people 65 and older, those 18 to 64 at a high risk of severe disease, and people in jobs they consider at high risk of exposure. In a statement, the acting FDA commissioner says it will, quote, allow for a booster dose in certain populations, such as healthcare workers, teachers, and daycare staff, grocery workers, and those in homeless shelters or prisons, among others. Well, tonight, 2 Afghan refugees living at Fort McCoy have been charged with crimes while living at the base. News 9's Natalie Sapila joins us live in the studio with more on these charges. Natalie.
Catherine, these charges come from a federal grand jury as a result of investigations by the FBI and Fort McCoy Police Department. A federal grand jury indicted 20-year-old Barula Nouri on charges of attempting to engage in a sexual act with a minor using force and with 3 counts of engaging in sexual acts with a minor. The indictment claims the victims were under 16 years old. 32-year-old Mohammed Haroon Ahmad is charged with assaulting his spouse by strangling and suffocating her. The indictment claims that incident happened on September 7th. Now, if convicted, Nouri faces a minimum sentence of 30 years and a maximum sentence of life in federal prison and a maximum penalty of 15 years on the other 2 charges. Ahmad faces a maximum penalty of 10 years. The 2 men are being held at the Dane County Jail and will be arraigned tomorrow. Catherine, back to you.
All right, thank you, Natalie. And many Haitian migrants camped in a small Texas border town are being released in the U.S. with notices to appear at an immigration office within 60 days. Officials say the Homeland Security Department has been busing Haitians from Del Rio to El Paso and other communities along the Texas border. And this week added flights to Tucson, Arizona. We're learning human trafficking is growing in the Badger State, and it could be right in your backyard. The Human Trafficking Institute is reporting a rise in cases of labor and sex trafficking in Wisconsin last year. That's compared to numbers from 2019. While national cases went down, Wisconsin's continued to climb. 6 trafficking cases were filed in federal courts. Of that, 5 defendants were convicted. The majority of defendants were charged with sex trafficking. A spokesperson from the group that did the study also highlighting the mental and emotional cost to victims.
Being a victim of trafficking in the past is one of the vulnerabilities that puts you at risk of being trafficked again. It can be an incredibly difficult cycle of exploitation to get out of.
She adds continuing to complete the data can help lessen cases, as the more information there is, the better equipped officials are to help. The largest police group in Wisconsin have been pushing for change and now are calling on senators to take action. News 9's Adriana Danielle has more on the impact a new set of laws will have on area police.
Calling it a blueprint for change, the largest police group in the state has banded together to question how to better wear the badge.
To date, it's the most comprehensive and cumulative report and package of police reform measures by any police group in the country.
Those proposals from the Wisconsin Professional Police Association include public access to use of force policies, whistleblower protections, statewide collection of data on use of force, and protection for officers with post-traumatic stress disorder, to name a few.
While some states and some large municipalities have had conversations about trying to defund the police, we've taken a much different approach.
The WPPA has been working with lawmakers the entire time, trying to craft something that could reasonably get to Governor Evers' desk. Senator Patrick Testin co-authoring one of these bills.
So yeah, the law enforcement standards bill's legislation provide more transparency in the hiring process for our men and women in law enforcement, so that way we can weed out the bad actors and ensure that they're no longer in the profession.
The comprehensive review stemming from the death of George Floyd. The WPPA saying they want to be a part of the national policing discussion going on across the country.
We really wanted to, signify and reaffirm our commitment to having a voice in this important public dialogue. And the way we do that is by putting our own ideas forward. And and not just reacting to the public dialogue, but really trying to drive it in a constructive and meaningful way.
Since then, 8 bills have become state law and another 2 were rejected. The last 9 bills are awaiting Senate approval before heading to the governor's desk.
Falling temperatures for the first day of fall. Jackson, what are we looking at tonight?
Well, it felt like fall today, and it's going to feel like a fall overnight tonight. Temperatures will be dropping into the 30s. We could even see some patchy frost, so possibly feeling a little bit like winter if you're out there late enough. You can see our high temperatures today generally in the 60s, anywhere from 62 in Rhinelander, 64 in Phillips, up to 68 in Wausau, but we were generally in the low to mid 60s all day long. So it was a cooler day today, and you can see those temperatures have already drastically dropped. We're seeing 45 in Rhinelander, 45 in Merrill, 55 though in Wausau, or at least the city. But tonight that will be changing. Our frost advisory in effect for much of the area. Temperatures could be dropping into the low 30s in spots, so keep that in mind. If you have any sensitive plants, bring them indoors, and you're definitely going to want a jacket if you're heading out the door tomorrow morning. You can see our overnight low, or our forecast for tonight will put us in the 30s. That's anywhere from 31 to 40 degrees across the area. Mostly clear, quiet, and chilly. North winds of 1 to 4 miles an hour, so fairly light there, but they are from the north, bringing in that cooler air. And that's going to bring our weather trends to show that we have a dry forecast expected, except for late Friday, maybe a couple light showers Saturday morning. Sunday will be nicer and then warming up into next week.
All right, thank you, Jackson. Well, new at 9, the U.S. could default on its debt for the first time ever. The federal debt limit isn't raised by next week, and that could have a big impact on you. The debt limit is the maximum the federal government is allowed to borrow to pay for last year's bills. As a just-released report from Moody's Analytics, it paints a catastrophic picture of what could happen if lawmakers don't take action.
It would create a lot of snowballing effects throughout the economy. We estimate that the unemployment rate would surge to 9%. 6 million jobs would be lost.
The U.S. Treasury Secretary says Social Security checks might stop coming, troops could go unpaid, and monthly child tax credits could get delayed if the limit isn't raised. The U.S. is now pledging to send more COVID vaccinations to countries in need.
This is an all-hands-on-deck crisis. And the good news is we know how to beat this pandemic. Vaccines, public health measures, and collective action.
President Biden announcing he will send 500 million doses to developing countries. The U.S. has now committed to sending more than 1 billion doses to other nations. A warning from election officials in Wausau on a voter registration mailing. The city says a third party has mailed out applications to residents, but they did not come from the City of Wausau clerk's office. Officials say those mailings might not reflect your registration status, which you can find out online at myvote.wi.gov. Tonight, we are being introduced to Stevens Point's newly appointed councilman, voted in 8-2 earlier this week. Mark Christensen will now hold the District 1 seat, replacing Tori Jennings, who resigned last month. Christensen says this is an opportunity to be a contributing member of the community. He's recently retired and has education background spanning over 40 years.
First as a teacher for 6 years, then as a school administrator for 33 years. I was a principal for 19, and then for 14 years I was a district administrator, superintendent.
He also says education is a role of service and that his many years in the field will help him to be successful. Still ahead, see how one area of business is giving back to those in need, especially as temperatures start to drop. Plus, changes to an area school's COVID policies. We have a look.
Cozy up to a new fireplace from Merrill Sheet Metal Works. Our Firefly Lodge showroom offers a large selection of fireplaces, inserts, and freestanding stoves for new construction or remodeling. Transform the look of any room with a clean-burning, energy-efficient Lopi model. Save on heating bills, adding beauty and warmth to any living space. Design your dream Lopi fireplace online with our Design My Fire tool. Merrill Sheet Metal Works and Firefly Lodge. There's comfort in honesty.
No one has ever reinvented mattress shopping until now. The grand opening of Slumberland Sleep Solutions, where we've simplified, uncomplicated, and laid things out for you. Start with a quick rest match to pick your basic mattress type.
You love memory foam.
I really do.
Then shop the information and rating system on each bed. Did you know you can get great back support with a soft feel? It's true, and easy to find. Mattress shopping, reinvented, only at Slumberland Furniture.
It's back and beefier than ever. Beefarama, Saturday, September 25th in downtown Minocqua. Beef roast competitions, 10K and 5K runs, live music, and Prime Choice Craft Show. Join in on the one-of-a-kind fun you can only find in the Northwoods. Beefarama, Saturday, September 25th.
Precision Body and Frame. Collision, decision, precision. Collision. Just when you least expect it, an accident from out of the blue. Decision. Where are you going to go to get your car put back to new? Precision Body and Frame. The quality's in our name. Collision, decision, precision.
Get all your Packers news straight from the source.
Yeah, I thought he played outstanding.
And relive all the greatest moments.
Got a touchdown!
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur, only on the Packers TV network.
Sunday mornings at 10:30 on WAOW TV 9.
UW System has reported a drop in fall enrollment system-wide. Officials estimate enrollment saw a 1% decrease compared to fall of 2020. And officials with UWSP say their figures align with that, as they've seen a drop in upperclassmen students. They say this is likely due to uncertainties about the pandemic, and they're working to reassure students.
They don't want their experience to be altered. And so we've worked really hard to make sure that the in-person campus experience is as best as it can be.
UWSP has seen an increase in new freshmen, transfer, and graduate students. The Phillips School District made changes this week to their COVID protocols. During Monday night's school board meeting, the board voted to allow all asymptomatic students and teachers return to school. That includes students who were otherwise quarantined as close contacts to positive cases. That vote passed 5-2 as part of a monthly program to let parents weigh in on school policy. When asked how that decision might affect COVID numbers, the Price County Health and Human Services Department issued a statement saying in part, quote, Price County Public Health will continue to issue quarantine letters to students and staff that are deemed close contacts per our obligation. We're also having ongoing conversations with legal counsel, end quote. Well, with deer hunting season around the corner, the Wisconsin DNR has a message for hunters about chronic wasting disease. They have been collecting samples and are asking hunters to submit samples as well. They have self-serve kiosks at locations listed on their website with detailed instructions on how to submit a sample. They say the testing helps with population numbers as well.
You know, and I think about, our deer hunting season actually functions as one of the largest wildlife surveys in the state on an annual basis. And
CWD is a neurological disease found in deer, and there is currently no cure. Its most common symptom is chronic weight loss. One business that used to be in the Wausau Mall has found a new home. Sears has opened on Grand Avenue next to the Family Dollar. Company officials tell News 9 that the store is currently having a soft opening and will have a grand opening once it is fully finished. The store is currently company operated, but it is actively searching for someone to become a dealer operator. New at 9, the red hot housing market is cooling off a bit, but prices are still surging. Home sales fell 2% in August, ending a 2-month run of increases. But that doesn't mean they're getting any cheaper. The median cost for a house right now, $357,000, which is up 15% from a year ago. If you're planning to take County Road J in Weston on Thursday, you might want to look for an alternative route. That's because it will be closed to all traffic while crews replace culverts. The work is expected to start at 7 a.m. and last until at least 7 p.m. Village officials say drivers should use County Road Q or other routes around the site. We're taking a live look outside now, and temperatures are starting to drop. So if you're planning on heading out, you might want to grab a sweater. Meteorologist Jackson Garlock has your full forecast after the break.
Mader Law Firm, your lawyers for the injured. MaderLaw.com.
When you want to complete your driveway, CustomPavingWI.com. When you want quality blacktop work, CustomPavingWI.com. When you want a company that warranties all their material and workmanship for 1 full year, CustomPavingWI.com. When you want a company that puts its customers first to meet all their asphalt needs, CustomPavingWI.com. Every driveway makes a statement. What does your driveway say about you? CustomPavingWI.com. Your home isn't complete until your driveway is finished.
Television across the decades. It's 9 shows for 8 hours, all on one great network.
Really? No kidding.
From morning to midday, watch the miraculous misadventures of some of television's greatest comedies, along with fun facts on each era during the commercial breaks.
Can you believe that?
Watch Decades on Channel 9.2.
It's the Factory Direct Tire Sale at Sherrill Tire and Service Center. Through September 30th, get up to $200 in rebates on Goodyear tires with a Goodyear credit card subject to credit approval. The Factory Direct Tire Sale at Sherrill Tire. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
We are seeing some frost in the north. In fact, a hard freeze in some spots like Rhinelander.
Shippy Shoes takes gait analysis one step further with our new private testing area. Get personalized treatment with a certified podorthist and learn what shoe is best for you. We're the area's only shoe store that provides free gait analysis. We stand by superior customer service, finding essential footwear that fits you. Discover stylish name brand footwear waiting to be worn. Explore our new website for our full inventory or come inside the area's most trusted shoe store. Shippy Shoes, Stevens Point.
Now, your Storm Track 9 weather.
Well, the weather is starting to jump right into the fall season. I know you mentioned a frost advisory. How cool is it supposed to get tonight?
Yeah, there's a frost advisory in effect for tonight because temperatures will be dropping into the 30s. Now, we're not exactly sure where. The Northwoods could have their chance to drop into the low 30s. That's the highest chance for frost, but we could see 30-degree temperatures as far as southern Wisconsin, and that's going to be bringing that chance for frost. Now, as we take a look at our today's high across the U.S., you can see there is still some warm air in the U.S. Not quite in our area right now, but off to the west, we are seeing a few 80s, some 70s, so there will be some warming on its way. Likely not for the next couple of days, though. You can see that here from our Wausau High Tracker. Tomorrow near 67 as well as Friday, so still going to be fairly cool in some spots. A cool day, especially on Saturday, going to be dropping down into the low 60s. And then we do rebound Sunday forward as we're going to be heading back into the 70s, which will be a nice change of pace after these couple of cool fall days. So we want to take a look outside in Wausau right now. You can see it's a fairly tranquil night right now, but it will be getting gradually cooler as the night progresses. Current temperature in the city, 55 degrees, the dew point at 45, but most cities' actual temperature is closer to that dew point in the 40s. We also have north-northwest winds around 3 miles an hour. You can see from our current temperatures across the state, they do vary, but they are on the cooler side, and it's much cooler than what we saw yesterday by a couple of degrees. 44 in Merrill, 45 in Rhinelander, as well as 50 in Marshfield. Now, as we take a look at this time yesterday, temperatures were about a degree warmer or so. You can see 6 degrees cooler than this time yesterday in Stevens Point, 6 degrees cooler than this time yesterday in Marshfield. And yesterday had our low temperatures this morning sitting in the low 30s or mid 30s. So you can expect temperatures to be a couple of degrees cooler than that. That means a couple of low 30s, which will mean the presence of some patchy frost, especially in the Northwoods. So as we take a look here, we do have a frost advisory for much of the area. On the eastern side, they'll get spared of a little bit of the clear conditions, so they might not get quite as cool, but that frost advisory in effect for much of the area, especially for the north and northwest. Tonight's forecast low in the city of Wausau, 39 degrees, mostly clear and crisp, but once again much cooler to the north. Winds will be fairly light from the north, around 1 to 4 miles an hour. Our hometown forecast tomorrow almost looks the exact same as today. It'll be dry and pleasant. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures like 65 in Rhinelander, 66 in Pearson, or 65 in Pearson, 67 in Wausau, with a north wind of 5 to 15. So still going to be a bit breezy, and that northerly wind will be bringing that cooler air to the state. Down south, we're seeing temperatures such as 67 in Stevens Point and could get just a degree below 70 in Adams Friendship. So as we take a look at our precipitation estimate, you don't see too much. Now there is some color here, but that's only about a quarter of an inch at most across the area. So a little bit of rain is in the forecast. That'll mainly be Friday night into Saturday morning. And you can see that's because we have a weather setup right now that's fairly clear off to our west, all the precipitation off to our east. Now that may major precipitation we see off to the east is not what's going to be bringing our rainfall. Our future track forecast will show that, though. You can see mostly clear skies on the western side for tonight, but a few filtering clouds on the east. Then we will see that clear sky continue for tomorrow for the most part. Plenty of sunshine. Our next chance of rain, as you can see as we move into Friday, will be falling just after noon. In the morning hours, maybe up to the northwest, seeing a little bit of light rainfall. By noon, there could be a few showers here on Friday, and then the early afternoon is when you'll have that highest chance to see a few showers. So, 7-day forecast shows generally 60s for the next couple of days. Breezy on Saturday after that rain coming Friday night, and then warming up into the 70s into next week.
All right, thanks, Jackson. Well, an area jeweler is finding ways to give back to those in need in the community as the colder weather starts to move in. Bling Jewelers in Weston is having its Fall Fest sale, where a portion of the proceeds will be donated to the Wausau Community Warming Center. They're also accepting donations of items, and in return, you'll get a discount, along with knowing you're helping someone in need.
It does take an absolute entire community to embrace our homeless individuals and make sure that they have all of the essential things necessary to stay safe and warm over the winter months.
You know, being a small business, we have the ability, and I think it's a responsibility for small businesses to give back where they can.
The Warming Center houses 25 adults during the winter months. The Fall Fest sale will run through Saturday. Well, the leaves haven't started falling in big groups yet, but the time you should start preparing for winter is now. No matter what type of plants you have, they're not going to do well once temperatures start dipping. Officials say you may need to get creative to keep things green, but there are a lot of different options.
Anything really will work. You can use a bed sheet, a piece of plastic, thin plastic. What you want to make sure that you don't do is crush the plants, you know, underneath whatever you are using to cover it, so support might be necessary depending on the application.
As for your lawn, there isn't much to worry about, as experts say, just to avoid stepping on your grass when it's frozen to avoid damaging it. Stay with us, your Sports in 60 when we come back.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's good. It's not.
You can't miss the Fall Semi-Annual Sale and Sweepstakes on now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Save as much as 40% off top brand appliance doorbusters while they last. Plus special no-interest financing with no minimum purchase. This weekend only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Join News 9 from Pack Attack's 22nd season with sports director Alex Stewart and Packers Hall of Famer Johnny Gray. Tuesday nights at 6:30 only on News 9. Brought to you by Cellcom, Tomahawk Sports, Jim Kreshak, and Ho-Chunk Wittenberg.
Let me introduce me. Here I come. Yeah.
Cuts, colors, braids, and fades. We stand for style. Cost Cutter Salons.
Save big this month. Prepay for 3 haircuts and get them for $13 each. Fall in love with your new haircut at Cost Cutters. That's 3 haircuts for $13 each at Cost Cutters.
Monogram really opens the door to a lot of learning opportunities.
Friendly environment. You have no worries if you need help.
People welcome me. We're pretty much one big family.
We're constantly moving forward, and we're always looking to reach new heights.
At Haugum Law Firm, we work tirelessly to provide the best in estate planning, probate, trust administration, and long-term care nursing home planning in central Wisconsin. In this changing world, we can accommodate virtual and telephone conferences for your convenience or face-to-face meetings in a safe space. Call us today to learn more. Haugum Law Firm, estate planning and elder law.
The Fall Semi-Annual Sale and Sweepstakes is on now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Shop new fall furniture styles at huge discounts up to 60% off. Then get your scratch-off card in store for your chance at specials and bonus deals. You could even win the $5,000 grand prize at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
This week marks a homecoming for Aaron Rodgers as he returns to Northern California to face his childhood team, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, for years, Aaron has been pretty open about his personal vendetta against San Fran for not drafting him. And now that he plays, he can't be a huge fan of having an overall losing record of 5-6 against them either. But it appears with his old age and new contemplative lifestyle, Aaron is much more happy to return to his old stomping grounds and sees the chance to play the team he grew up watching for the special opportunity that it is.
that was my team growing up. So of course it does. I have so many great memories watching those great teams from the late 80s and early 90s before many of my teammates were born. And still have a lot of love and affection for the area. Went to college there, still keep in touch with many folks from Cal that I got to meet or played with. And that, that area will always be special to me for sure.
Should be a good one. Packers 49ers on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be it for your sports.
All right, thanks, Alex. Well, earlier today, veterans and volunteers united to make sure former veterans get the help they need after serving our country. The Stand Down event was put on by the Tomah VA Medical Center at the Stevens Point Salvation Army. Even if you weren't able to make it this morning, all veterans need is their DD-214. If you don't have the form, they can try to look it up for you.
So we just want to ensure that we are getting their needs addressed, and if they have those, to definitely reach out to us, because we do have connections with other resources and we're able to assist them. So if they're not able to make it, they'll reach out.
Resources available include blood pressure screenings, food vouchers, snacks, clothing, and more. You can contact Tomah's Clinic for more information. Finally tonight, watch a police officer in Maine rescue a deer from a backyard pool. The homeowner saw the animal fall in, concerned that it could get caught in the pool's cover, and called police. The responding officer quickly wrangles the panicked deer, which didn't waste time in drying off, and then runs off into a wooded area. A little too cold for a dip in the pool, Jackson, today.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I think I might have panicked just as much of that deer if I took a dip in there, because it would have just been a little bit too chilly, especially if you dipped in there tonight. And you'll see that from our 7-day forecast, just how cool temperatures will be for the next couple of days. Tomorrow, very similar to today, but we could be waking up even chillier than the overnight lows we had this morning. And that'll bring temperatures into the low 30s in some spots, so be prepared for that. Otherwise, the daytime high of 67, then the overnight lows get a little bit more manageable in the 40s. Another day near 67 on Friday, though a chance of rain, especially after midday, so be prepared for just a few light showers to pass through. Saturday will turn breezy, bringing our temperature to around 62, maybe some morning drizzle, and then you can see it gets much warmer after that. Going to be sitting back in the 70s for next week.
All right, sad to see summer go. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you for News 9 at 10 over on ABC. I hope you all have a great rest of your night.
Hi, I'm Eric Pease from the law office of Bartels and Pease in Wausau. We are proud to sponsor closed captioning on News 9 WAOW.
The Trading Post in Wisconsin Rapids is Central Wisconsin's premier antique mall, consignment, and sports shop. We're the store with more selection, more items changing daily, more chances to find something